Hi everyone, I'm back. I'm sorry, I cut off that last video a little bit prematurely. There was actually one more thing that I wanted to mention that I think is very important, and that's this last line right here. If you will notice, it has the phrase seed time and harvest. I believe that's very important, especially considering the times that were mentioned up here at the top with the second advent, because we're in the time, or we're approaching the time of the harvest. Of course, if you read further down, it says, and cold and heat and summer and winter. Well, that's because on one side of the world it's summer, or it's approaching summer, and then the other side of the world is approaching winter. We have a summer in the northern hemisphere that's coming up, and in the southern hemisphere they have winter that's coming up. So for them it's going to be seed time, and for us, we're approaching the time of the harvest, of the spring harvest. So I thought that was very important, considering the dates that were showing up at the beginning. And so I want to go back to the calendar and show you something else that I forgot to mention earlier. Okay, so the dates that were showing up were the 1st of Nisan, and in the middle of the month of Nisan, on the 14th, we have the Passover beginning at sunset on the 14th and on the day of the 15th, and running through the 22nd of Nisan. Well, it was during the Passover that Jesus resurrected on first fruits. And of course, first fruits happened to be on Sunday, the year that Jesus was resurrected, and it was right in the middle of Passover. Okay, so that would be the first of the wheat harvest, which would be the barley, which ripens around first fruits, and that would be sometime during the middle of Passover. And then further down here on the remember we talked about the 27th of ER, which begins at sunset the day before the day of Jerusalem, which is Yom Yerushalayim. And this is a day that in Israel they celebrate the day that Jerusalem was retaken during the Six-Day War. And on our calendar, that would be on June 6th or June 7th of 1967. Okay, well, this happens to be just 1 week before Shavuot. And Shavuot is when the wheat harvest comes in. It's the counting of the Omer, and it's 50 days from first fruits, and in English we call it Pentecost, but in Hebrew they call it Shavuot, and that is the wheat harvest. So I just thought I would mention that, because again, this comes up in the table where it talks about seed time and harvest. So it's very important to note that comes up in the table, and we're approaching the spring harvest at this time. Now, as far as the dates go that were on the calendar, there's so many different calendars that it's really difficult to know which is the correct calendar, and I think that might be why we're only given a time frame to look for the second advent. And again, I'm not saying that it's definitely going to happen this year or during this time frame that's given here in the table, but I do think it's very significant that right where it says Second Advent in the King James in the Bible Code, it does give a date, And I think we should just take note of that date. I don't think we should go around making any announcements that anything is going to happen on that day or during that time frame, but we do need to be very watchful, and we do need to keep in prayer for all our family members, and just do whatever we need to do to stay ready to meet the Lord at His appearance. And again, I just want to thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.